Hello, we're live. Hey guys, I'm Davina. Hobart's over there. I'm waiting for him to come over this way. Anyways, hope you guys are having a good night. Today is it's probably morning in the Philippines. I mean in America. Let me see what time it is. It's 6 a.m. in California, and it's probably 9. It's 9 o'clock here, 9 p.m. here. So it's 9 a.m. in like New York or something. Somebody's here. Hi.
Hey guys.
And you are welcome to hit the thumbs up and the like button. And also, we are one person away from hitting 1,000 subscribers. So if you're not subscribed, be the person who becomes the 1,000. And let us know. I'll be saying it over and over again, but let us know in the comments if you are the 1,000th subscriber, because we are right there on the mark.
Yeah.
Hi to whoever's here. Okay, so today our main topic is we've been looking for property. Hi, Willie Bubba.
Willie
Hey,
Bubba,
how
what's up?
are you? We're at 999 subscribers. Did you see that? Hi, right?
Ryuken Miranda.
Miranda. Hello.
That's-
Welcome to our channel.
That's new. I don't think
We haven't met you before.
Ryuken
Hey, and
Miranda.
if you're not subscribed, subscribe, because we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and we should hit it today, hopefully.
If you subscribe.
Yeah, if
Alright.
you decide to.
All right, so there's a lot of things we got to go over today, but we slept in. We were so tired last night.
We were exhausted. Okay, if you saw, we were up at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
From 1 till 2.
And then I decided, for whatever reason, to look at my phone and watch book face videos.
Oh, really? So you didn't go to sleep for a while?
Until 3 o'clock.
Oh my God.
And then I got up, had to open the gates for the construction workers, and that was pretty much
And then
it.
we went about our day.
Dropped off our kids so late when they got to school, like
an hour late
8 o'clock
to
in the morning.
school.
Yeah. And then, in addition to that, I totally forgot that we were supposed to go look at stuff at the farm, look at properties at the farm.
Willie Bubble says we went clubbing.
Yes, that's true.
No.
In our house.
We were so tired. Okay, so yesterday was one of those freebie holidays. So there was no school. So we just had a 3-day weekend, and we just went from the coast. We went all the way up the mountain. We went down the coast, and then, yay, your follower.
Nice.
Look, thank
Aww.
you.
That's
Thanks,
awesome.
Ken.
Thank you.
It's like Ryuken. They must be the same person.
Ryuken.
Different.
Ryuken.
Different. What is it when you have like multiple accounts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right. Woohoo!
All right.
Woohoo! Oh, look, let's party about it. Woohoo! Okay. I don't know what that is.
Weirdo.
No, I'm celebrating. Aww. Thank you.
Thanks.
That's awesome.
All right.
Oh, Honey Girl is here again.
Honey Girl.
Honey Girl. It is late night. Okay. But we ain't got none of that for you. Okay, so I'm gonna remove that. That's funny.
Honey Girl funny.
She keep coming in. She's looking for subscribers too, apparently. But she got a different kind of channel, from what I understand.
Honey Girl TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anyway, what? Okay. The chat, it's out of control right now. So anyways, what were you gonna talk about? Like, what do we have to tell them about? We definitely weren't clubbing. We were not clubbing, Willie Bobo. No, we owed. We too old for that.
Mm-hmm.
What were we doing?
So we got up, and then I totally forgot that we were supposed to go look at farmlands,
Agricultural
lands
lands.
this morning. But the guy came. We went to the farms. We checked out probably like 1, 2, 3 farms.
And we
Two.
were on a motorcycle.
Mhm.
Okay, we ain't got no business on this motorcycle, but we're out there.
Yeah.
It was raining, like pouring, and we brought our raincoats because we were ready to get rained on.
We are like racing up in the head. That's like at the end of the day.
Oh really? Oh okay. I don't even know where
Go
I'm
ahead
at with the
finish
day.
it. Go ahead, finish it.
No, like I was saying, is like we were wearing our raincoats because it's raining.
Was that early in the morning?
It was all day.
No.
Maybe it was later. Oh, we did go. Oh my God, my whole day is kind of like all messed up. Okay, so when we woke up, we did go look at some properties, but then later on, the typhoon was coming in, and we ended up. He's typing over here in the chat, and we ended up taking our jackets because we could see the big clouds. So yeah, okay. So go ahead. I'm sorry. I got the story mixed up. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, you go ahead.
No, you.
No, you. Okay, so went to the farms, looked at probably like 2 farmlands, right? So if you are interested in farmlands here in Philippines, especially in province area, some areas along the main highway is like 4,000 square meter, but the property we were looking at have been around like 400 peso per square meter, and then the 300 peso per square meter, and then
Oh, cool.
like the lowest one I've seen is 200 peso.
It's one of the kids we met.
Ryuken.
At the park
in
over there.
San Nicolas Park.
Nice.
Nice. Yes, we do live here in the Philippines, so that's awesome. Yeah. So Ryuken, shout outs to Ryuken. I think he is going to school in San Nicolas, which is past Tayog. They have a beautiful park over there in Natividad.
Yeah, it's a nice park.
It's a nice park, and I was impressed because the park was actually thoroughly used by
all the kids. Like it's surrounded by a bunch of schools,
right? Yeah, and the thing is, like here in Philippines, they decorate for Christmas really, really early, and so it's nice.
Okay, so we were talking about going to look for properties.
So we look for properties, right? The cheapest one we've seen so far is like at 200
peso
per
a square
meter per square
okay
meter. So we're looking at for like probably like 1 hectare or 2 hectare land, and what we're planning to do with it is basically allow someone to use the land, and then we get some of the profit.
Right, we would get some of the yield
from
percentage. The crops.
Yes, percentage. So we would be financing the land, and then somebody else would be using working it, and then we get like a percentage.
Right.
So that's what we've been doing. After that, we got our kids. We picked them up from school. Then did we go on a little date?
No, well, yeah, we did. We did go on a little date later, but like we were still all really exhausted from our wild night of clubbing. Mm-hmm. Apparently, yeah. Willie Bobo says.
And you know what? We went to like a little town in the outskirts of Tayog, near Barangubong, the barangay of Barangubong. And what did you think of the kabang-bangan? Kabang-bang.
We went to a kabang-bang. Oh, today?
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
At lunchtime.
It was delicious.
I finally had your
Bicol Express, guys. Ooh. I finally tried it. It was very spicy, but I love spicy food, so not a problem for me.
Yes.
I was kind of like thrown off by the way it looks because it was like a bright pink, So that was kind of like a thing. But I ate it and it was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was
Bicol Express. It was when she said, good. I was like, "What is that?" And I wasn't going for it because it wasn't appealing like to the eye. But then I was like, "What is that?" And she said, "Bicol Express," and I was like, "Okay, I'll take some." Because it was you guys, the viewers, who told us to go and try some Bicol Express. So when we found it at a calendaria, which I call kabang bangs. We tried it and it was amazing. So we had
Mm.
really good food today. Really good
Yeah, it was
food.
nice. So we went there, we got the food, then brought it back to the house. We ate lunch, and then the kids were so tired. I was even so tired
Yeah,
that
we all took a
I
nap.
took a nap. I took like
We all took a
an
nap.
hour nap, and then who came over at like 1 o'clock? Somebody came over. Oh, somebody else came over. So a friend of mine was showing me this one. It wasn't an agricultural property; it was a residential property, and they were selling it for. It was right off the Barangay Road and a bypass. It was in a corner. It is a corner lot. It's nice. It's 6,000 square meter, but it was being sold for 1,000 peso per square meter, and that is 6 million peso for that piece of property. For me, it's a little bit too high, right? I'm like, it's not that worth it. USD, that's about 60,000. That's $60,000. So, um, and after that, then
Yeah.
I showed my friend. We went back. Then that's when it rained. All right.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
when it
So
rained.
then
And you
a
catch up.
friend came out and met us, and he's like, "Let's go to the farms. Let's go check these farms out." So we were driving around, and I was telling my husband, I was like, "Hey, those rain clouds are really thick. Like, I think we need to wear our jackets." So we pulled over, we put the jackets on, and then lo and behold, we're not riding for more than 5 minutes, and then it starts pouring. And we were trying to find a spot to like ride in to like hide. They're called waiting sheds. And we found somebody's sorry store that had like a little bit of space to hide into. And so we ran into their area, and I'm like standing up there holding on to the fence and the railing of the sorry store, and I'm standing up really high because that's about like where I could like get myself crouched into. And then these guys are getting just drenched in the water, and so they weren't able to hide, but they went walking, and they ended up going to the farm in the rain. And I just stayed with the motorcycles, and I stayed dry.
Uh-huh. And so, but it was nice. We got to check out like the third property, agricultural property today. And, we're in talks. We were already in talks in purchasing this land. And so I wanted to buy like 3 hectares of land, but one of them was way too high. 1 hectare was like for 2.5 million peso. And I was like, no, I can't do that. But I also learned that the land, I can't really purchase it until April. So there are already farmers working the land, and they are going through their first crop right now. So the rule is they have to go through their first crop all the way to their third crop before the land can be sold.
So basically, you can't start working the land until April.
Right.
So if you were to buy this property, it's not really yours.
No. Well, if you were to buy a property, you can't do anything with it. So you're just like
Mm.
you're just allowing whoever owns it to hold on to your money ahead of time, but you're not able to use the land the way
Oh,
you
so
want
that's
to.
not really good.
Yeah. And then the thing is, what I also learned is that there's two different types of farming. One is percentage, right? And I spoke to someone today. He's like around like the 15 percentage points, which the owner pays for everything else that you would need for the land, and then they take 15% off the
Good
top.
night, Yunken.
Ryuken. Bye, Ryuken. Good night. Hey, shout outs to Ryuken again. Thank you very much
For being our 1,000 subscriber.
You are awesome.
We gotta get some rest.
We met him at a park, and
Mhm.
he was pretty active, and he was one of those guys that weren't shy to talk to us in English. And so all the other kids are like, oh man, we want to say something to them, we want to do an interview, but unfortunately they were like too shy. But Raiken wasn't shy at all. So shout outs to Raiken. Thank you again, and have a good night.
Yes.
So going on, So the second part, so there's the percentage part. The second part is called muerto, which means, what is it again?
Death.
Death in Spanish, and I think it means the same thing in Tagalog and Tagalog. And what that is basically the owner of the land gets, 30 sacks or 40 sacks of rice from the first crop, and they don't have to provide anything else. Like they don't pay for whatever else, the
Pesticides,
pesticides. There you go, seeds.
seeds,
They don't do anything else like that. They just get the crop. Yeah,
irrigation.
they just get the crop. But the whoever is working the land gets to keep everything from first crop, second crop, third crop after they've given up the 30
The
30 sacks
fixed,
of rice.
it's like
yeah.
a fixed. You guys make a decision, like a fixed contract of how much rice.
Right. And so now, we're looking into it. I think that buying land here in Philippines is a great thing because if you truly want to help people, right, that's how people make it out here. You allow them to use the land and they get a portion of it while you get a portion of it, and you're basically just a financer. And so
Yeah.
I think that'll be a good thing for us to do.
Yeah, I
because
loved it. I actually really loved being out there in the farm, and I remember like somebody had called us and they're like, "Hey, can you guys come back to the house?" And I was like, yeah, we'll be down there. We're over at the farm, right?" And it just felt so good to say that, like, "Oh, we'll be right over. We're 10 minutes away."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Dang, I want to own one of these farms out here. This is super cool."
Yeah. And so, speaking of deliveries, what did you get delivered today?
I got delivered all my appliances. So the washer and dryer, the range and the range hood. We've got a big Samsung fridge, and I think that was it. It's just those were all the items. Was
You
there?
got something else?
Oh, I got an Amazon something. Okay, something I thought I had lost through Amazon. It made it. So we got all of our Amazon order. Of course, it was like the wrong one because I ordered insoles for girls' shoes, but somehow I got insoles for men's shoes. So my husband got extra insoles.
Good looking out.
You're
good looking out.
welcome.
Yeah, good looking
You're
out.
welcome. Happy anniversary. Happy birthday.
What?
You can remember
What do you
me
mean? I
while
buy
you're
you like a fridge and a dryer and a washer, and like a stove, and all I get
are some
are
insoles.
some insoles.
Hey, squishy
Wow.
feet. You know what?
This
feet.
is definitely an unbalanced relationship. right there.
I will
It
give you
sounds
some
like
foot
you're like
rubs.
just take, and a little bit of give. I'm all giving you everything I got. So
It's true.
let me see. Today was great too. The kids had fun. After that, we kind of like swept the front yard. We swept the
We
front
came back and
yard,
cleaned.
and we checked out all the stuff that's been happening here at the construction. And these guys that are here doing the construction, they're doing a phenomenal job. I
Mhm.
cannot thank them enough for doing what they do. Today, I saw them installing a door. And these guys, like, the door comes just like a door. You have to kind of take off pieces off the door and put the hinges on there. And I was like, man, these guys surprise me with their skills every single time. And tomorrow, see what I owe them is I owe them a doorknob and a lock, because they drilled the hole. It doesn't come
Right.
pre-fabricated
There's
like in the
no
United States.
hole on the door. They got to make it. Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
Well, we also did other things too. I know you were saying about, but didn't we do something later on? Oh, we had some furniture that we needed to move so that we could make room for all of my new appliances.
So my mom, before she left, I was like, "Hey, Mom, what's inside these furniture?" She's like, "I have my stuff in there." And so they're huge.
They're like these
They're
big
huge,
wardrobes
like-
from like The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yeah,
like that
They're
big.
tall
like,
and they're heavy. I can't lift them by myself. Me and Dee can't lift them together. And so
no.
what I had to do was, like, I had to flag down a guy, and I'm like, "Hey,
Well, first of all,
You
can we talk
wanna
about
make-
can we talk about the fail? Because okay, he's like, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna see if I can find somebody. He goes outside for like 10 minutes, Comes back in, and he's like, nope, couldn't find anybody. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess we got to move this stuff ourselves. So there we are. We're halfway out the door and we still can't get out. And then that's when I was like looking at him like, can we please find somebody?
So I finally waved someone down. There's like a family of 3, right? A wife, the husband, and a kid, right? So the kid goes to the same school that our kids go to. He's in the 3rd grade, but the husband, he's like 33 years old. Nice guy. What's his name? Alex?
Stop name dropping.
Oh,
please.
sorry. No name drop. Anyways,
Ah.
very nice guy came over. I was like, hey man, can you help me out? He came over at the kindness of his heart and started moving these things. Look, it took us probably a good 20-30 minutes. He was sweating.
Yeah, no.
I was drenched.
He was hurting.
was
My husband
drenched.
was in pain.
And like my eye is kind of swollen now because of the dust that was on the whatever those
the
things
mueble.
are. And it was heavy. I was like, I think I threw my back, but that's
Hey, these were big, massive, like wardrobes, okay? And I was just like, there was no way. I wasn't gonna be able to help him get it up over the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just so grateful that we found someone to
Mhm.
help us. So thank you to our neighbors out there.
Mm-hmm. And so you know what? Again, it's an example of Filipino hospitality here in the province. We live near the Tayog area, and I just called someone over and I said, hey, can you help me out? And guess what? He stopped what he was doing, spending time with his family, and he helped me out. Like the entire family stopped. And then you got to talking to the wife.
Yeah.
And my daughter went outside and said hello. Yes. It was great. It was awesome. Living here in the province, you can't really find it anywhere else. The community, the kind of like the tribe mentality where everyone helps each other out. And I've seen my uncle do it like every time I spend time with him. Right, he needs to move something, like a piece of wood or something, a plywood or whatever. He'll just go to the neighbors and be like, hey, can I borrow your tricycle, or can I borrow this, can I borrow that? And he'll just go pick it up and bring it back. Also, my uncle's like resources in the community, it goes very deep. He's like, hey man, what's up? We went to go buy dirt, and the guy was like, hey, so the dirt is 1,200, and my uncle's like, no, just give me for 1,000. And then he's like, oh, the hollow blocks, okay, hollow blocks are 800. No, why don't you just give it to me for like 750? I'm like, man, my uncle is really good. I'm like, uncle, well, you need to go, and you need to go with us, to go with me everywhere I go, and to purchase these things. So shout out to Karyung, and she said it's called an aparador. Yes, we had to move 3 of these aparadors.
Oh, it's called an aparador. In Spanish you call them like muebles. They're furniture.
These aparadors were like
they're massive.
They're huge. They're like taller, probably like 6 foot, 7 foot tall.
Right?
And they're filled with stuff because my mother for whatever reason, wouldn't give me the key.
It's part of the West Wing, y'all.
Yeah, it's part of the West Wing. So now we have to get it out of the kitchen because the kitchen is getting remodeled. So now it's in the storage area.
Yes, and we were able to move it because of the neighbors' help.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
That was awesome.
I know. And so here's the other thing too, because when we were in the States, we'd have neighbors come and ask us for help.
Yeah.
We're those people who are like really kind and nice. We meet our neighbors. We usually meet all our neighbors. Everybody knows who we are. Mm-hmm. And so it was really, really nice to get that like in return, that, reciprocated the help. Kind of like we paid it forward and now, it returned us.
Karyung, I just want to let you know, I can't wait to meet your father. I'm sure he's going to fill my head with some knowledge from his experience of doing like agricultural stuff here in Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
I am definitely getting like my feet wet, like going around and purchasing, or at least attempting to purchase agricultural property here
What's
in
yeah.
Philippines, and then how the farmers actually work the land.
I love watching
Yeah.
my husband talk to farmers. He's out there. He's talking to them. You had like we saw this one guy on like a machine today
It's
out
called
in the
it's called
water.
the cricket, kuliglig.
He was on a caliglig out there. Yeah.
Yeah. So there it's, and what's interesting is these guys in the new area, I think, I don't know what it's called, but it's out there. It's a different barangay, and what they do is about 60 to 70 days after they planted the first crop, what they do is they plant the seeds for the second crop. So by the time that the first crop has been harvested, they start the process all over again, and they start planting the second crop of rice, which I thought, I was like, I didn't see that on all, and at all the other agricultural lands that we visited prior. It's just in this area that they're just good and ready to go. So thoroughly impressed with that process.
Well, she says that in Isabela they plant rice twice a year.
Oh, here it's 3 times a year. 3 times
I
a year.
thought corn was one of the crops.
Depends if there is enough, if there's enough water in your land, then you do rice 3 times. But if it's like arid, I guess, then you do corn. So, but they said the farmers are like, corn here is really not that great, because what you have to do is you have to go out there, and the corn leaves are very sharp and they kind of cut you. So you, by the time you're done with the day, you got a whole bunch of cuts all over your body, you know. So wow,
Yeah, that's cool.
amazing. It sounds like you know a little bit about farming too, Karyong. That's pretty good. I'm
Yeah.
impressed. I wish I gained some of this knowledge from my father. Unfortunately, he passed away before.
Oh, she said you can plant mungo. Like, is it mungo beans?
Mungo. That's beans.
Yeah, the mungo bean.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
Oh,
beans.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
yes.
So yeah, you were saying your father passed away.
Yeah, my father passed away way too soon, and I didn't get an opportunity to come back here to the Philippines with him and kind of like pick his brain about how he used to do it. But from what I'm told, my father had like a tractor, and he was one of the ones that was like innovative in this area, you know, and he would help other people out. And so,
well, I mean, I was watching you today, and I was just admiring him because, you know, I'm watching him as he's making improvements to the home, and he's like out there working. He had a shovel and he was moving the dirt around and actually like really cleaning the home with the shovel and stuff. And I was thinking to myself that your dad is probably really proud of you.
well, thank you. I'm sure. I'm sure he was. I'm sure he is very proud. I mean, like when I joined the military, he was like, "Oh man, my son, he's off to join." Yeah. Hey, thank you, Karyong, for saying like someday you'll buy your own tractor and harvester. That's great. You know, hopefully I'll get to that point. But now that I have kids, I wish that I'm able to talk to kind of like my father, you know, and kind of ask him, like, how was I when I was a kid? Because now I'm starting to realize that my kids are getting older. And well, not just me, but we both are. Like, what are we doing to set our kids up for success? And there are some lands that my father left in the family. There's like 4. So you know, of course, all the kids' names are all in the land, and like the house and the property and things like that. So I want to continue that legacy. I want to make sure that that legacy continues with my kids as well. And that's why we're back here in Philippines that way. 1, they can learn the language. 2, they can learn the culture. 3, they can learn where their roots are. And so that way they can always come back here in Philippines and call this place a home. You know, or they can build their own home. But at least, when they come back, they can still help out the community.
Yeah.
Something about Filipinos is that like there's a lot of OFWs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Overseas foreign workers that are from Philippines, and they go to Australia, Hong Kong, they go to Japan, they go to the Middle East, and they send what little money they have here in Philippines, or those that have savings, they come back and they buy land. And so for me, my father, oh yeah, and Dubai too. My father, migrated my entire family back in 1995, and I got an opportunity to travel the world and through the military, and then meet this young lady right here. Not so young anymore.
Hey, I was young when we met.
Yeah, but
I was
I
only
wanted to
17.
I wanted to come back here to Philippines and kind of um, do the same thing that my father did, which is purchase land and allow somebody else to kind of work it. And it's interesting because just last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, when we started looking for agricultural land already, I talked to the guy, and one of the guys was like, "Yeah, man, I just want to let you know, like, be careful who you allow to kind of till your land. Some of these guys that have been working the land, they want percentage, they want a portion of the land." And he's like, "For me, man, I am so thankful. I've been working this land for the last 35 years. I've sent three of my kids to college. So now, I'm just here. I'm just thankful, and I'm still giving the owner of the land their share, and it's a great partnership, and I want to be able to for us to provide that opportunity to someone else here, because the have-nots, the difference between the have-nots and the haves is so vast. It's so vast, right? What were your thoughts on that,
I thought it
especially
was
with that kid? You were asking me about that kid today.
well, okay, so I thought it was great that we're always trying to like figure out, okay, if we're gonna buy this property, um, what are we gonna do with it? And so we've thought about different things that we could do. But really what it comes back to is farming it. And so what's in it for us would be that we would get a portion of the yield, which is really good, because then, like, let's say if it was rice, I mean, we only need to do one crop and we got rice forever, basically. Um, and so that's what's appealing. Um, but then we're left with like, okay, well, who's going to work the land? And what's really nice and like amazing is we're out there, we're in the fields, and there are hundreds of farmers. And like literally you can just walk from farm to farm and talk to the farmers. They're so like happy, and like they're content with just tilling and sowing the seed and growing. And they're not greedy, they're just so genuinely happy people.
And I think here in Philippines too, it's like there's that one guy that we were talking today. He was like telling me that he was getting a very low percentage. He's like, "Oh, if I get 100 sacks of rice,
Mm-hmm.
I just get 12." And I'm like, "Dude, that's kind of low, right?"
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "No, no, no, that's good enough." And what I
Mm-hmm.
realized based off of how he was saying what he was
Yeah.
saying is that he's he's only taking what he needs. He's
Mm-hmm.
not trying to come up. He's
Right.
not trying to
So
stop becoming a farmer. And he it's what he does. He loves doing
mm-hmm.
that, and he's proud of it.
And he volunteered. He's like, oh, hey, if you guys buy that land, I'll work it.
Yeah.
And then what's crazy is there was another kid who was much younger than the farmer we were talking to, who was like, hey, I'll work that crop too. And we were
Mhm.
like, oh my God, we already have all these people like offering to work the prospective property, and I was thinking like, wow, we're gonna be able to find a farmer to keep working the land, so it'll be useful.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, if you guys are ever planning to come out here to Philippines and you're able to buy some agricultural land, there's a lot of Filipinos that are willing to kind of till the land and give you your percentage on a yearly basis.
Hmm.
From my understanding, there's three crops, right? The first crop is rice, second crop is rice, and then third crop, if you have like a dry area and you don't have a water pump in your farm, is corn, right? And
Hmm.
I guess it pushes very well. But um, from my research, just talking to these guys, 1 hectare will of 1 hectare, which is 10,000 square meter, will yield between 80 to 100 sacks of rice. Now that's before it's processed in the mill and it comes in like these little pellets of rice that we
Shielded,
all
yeah.
know, right? But rice comes in rice
A
is like the
little,
seed, yeah, like a
like a,
cocoon. Yeah,
yeah,
cocoon,
it's
yeah.
got a
Hmm.
like a shell.
I don't know what it's called. I
I
don't
don't
even know what
know.
it's called. And what's something interesting today too is like while we were out there in the farms, we got to see the different types of rice, right? Like regular rice and then sticky rice. I
Yeah,
was like, what?
we were able to learn about the sweet sticky rice
Sweet sticky rice.
and what it looks like in the field, the
Mhm.
differences.
Mhm.
And I mean, we were out there, there's so many creatures and bugs. I mean, I know I have trouble with the bugs here, but we're out there and there's like tons of bugs.
Yeah. But you know what though? At the same time, as I'm learning all of these things, the more I dig deeper into it, the more I kind of feel bad for the farmers. And because when I was younger, I remember my family would take all of the rice sacks and they would take them to the side of the road, right? And they would dry them on the side of the road. Well, now it's becoming illegal to dry your rice from the farm on the side of the road.
You still see it to
You
this
still
day.
see
You
it to
still
this
see it.
day.
It happens.
But the thing is, now it's becoming more illegal. And so they're saying, like, well, what are we going to do? So as Philippines grows from where it is now into a, developed country, more capitalism is coming out here. And now they're purchasing the 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 crops directly from the farmer. They're not even kind of drying it now. There's actually big fields of concrete where they actually use that area to dry the rice.
Mhm.
So, which means that it's just less going to the farmers.
And it's also less
Mhm.
land,
Less
because
land.
if you're creating a slab of cement to dry your rice, then you're taking away from what you could be planting it.
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
Yeah, it's cool. We're having a lot of fun, just kind of like navigating the whole, farmer province life. It's cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
we like it.
Yeah. So I am looking forward to it. I am hoping that we can land on some very
Reasonably priced land.
inexpensive, agricultural land, so that way we can help people out. Um, you know, these things, we're definitely can't take it with us when we die. At this point, it's more like, okay, we're gonna do the financial aspect of it, and then we're gonna allow somebody else to kind of like work the land so they can help themselves out. I think that especially out here in the province area, you kind of see the community, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean,
Mm.
even from I left the Philippines when I was 11 years old, and some of the things that I'm learning about my culture is it's awesome. It's priceless. I hear I remember things from my past of like playing hide and seek, and I don't know what it's called. Maybe Karyung, you can help me out. But what my mother used to do is she would cook a meal and then she would take a bowl of that meal and take it to the neighbor. And then the neighbor would do the same thing. So that when you're eating lunch, you're not just eating one meal, right? You're eating rice with like 2 or 3 meals. I don't know what
Mm.
it's called. I don't know what it's called.
That's pretty cool.
But you share. So if you, for example, right, you and I are neighbors.
Mhm.
I cook chicken tinola
And I
you
cook the adobo.
right? I would take a bowl to your house, and then when you take the bowl, and then you give me a bowl of your whatever you made for lunch, and that's just how it was. Hey Heidi, welcome. Uh, and so Heidi says that that's a tradition that she remembers as well. It's called
Padigu.
padigo, padigo, which the literal translation means uh like share your broth, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Share. Padigo means share your broth. Digo, yeah, digo is broth. So
Mm.
share your broth, which is amazing.
Cute.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I like that. I like the
yeah.
idea that, well, I mean, that's why I like to go to the calendarias, because you can get like 5 or 6 different meals and you don't have to wash a bunch of dishes and you don't have to buy a bunch of ingredients. Same thing. Share
Yeah.
your meal.
You just don't want to cook.
Hey. Why would I cook when there are a bunch of calendarias, kabang-bangs,
Kabang-bangs
on the side of the road that have amazing food that I can't even like compare to?
One thing that I do admire about is that, like, during Hero's birthday, when we were celebrating it at Pugo Adventures, she loved the food that my auntie made. That she's like, auntie, when my kitchen is done, right, when all this renovation in the kitchen is done, can you please come over and teach me how to cook?
Yes.
Hopefully it happens, right? Because my auntie,
I would like to learn
oh
how to
my
cook.
goodness,
She knows how to cook.
my auntie knows how to
I need
cook.
I need some classes, auntie. I need some classes. Come out to the house. But my range isn't set up yet.
No, not yet. But we did get it delivered today. It's just that we don't know how to set it up.
Yeah, we're still waiting.
Oh my goodness, what are you doing?
I'm
What
tired.
are you doing?
I got the dryer, guys. I got the dryer. It does not have a vent. I'm gonna show you guys a video when I finally get this dryer out of the box, and I'm gonna show you what I bought.
It's weird.
It is weird.
So
It's
the
not
dryers
like in America.
in the United States have an air vent
Mhm.
that allows the
Like
hot
goes-
air or the moisture to leave
or the
in
lint or
atmosphere.
whatever.
Yeah. This one doesn't. It keeps the moisture inside, and you have to empty out this
like water
container
jug.
water.
It's
water
interesting.
Container, yeah.
I'm gonna show you guys.
It's kind of weird, right?
It is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we went to an SM last night and we were looking at the same washer / dryer. And the salesperson was saying it was a dryer and that it like dries 99%.
Right. But I looked
and it says washer.
It
says washer machine on the side.
Yeah, it says washing
I'm
machine.
like, why are they selling people these false hopes of a washer and dryer when it's just a washer? I'm curious. I cannot wait to wash my clothes and see how dry they come out, because they're trying to say that it's a dryer.
It's not. It's not. So Karyung and Heidi and anybody else who are in the chat, thank you for joining us. Do you guys have any questions for us at all before we go and kind of close out this video? We can sit here and talk about our experience. We are definitely getting our house ready for some guests. We're getting bathrooms remodeled, the roof redone, getting
kids
things insulated.
In school. You can ask us about their transition.
So
missing friends.
Oh yeah, our kids have been calling their friends on the weekend. They're friends in the United States, so they're not really missing out in that much.
No, they're definitely missing.
I do notice that our kids are doing a lot less of electronics. In the United States, they probably got in front of the TV 1-2 hours a day here. They'll get in front of the TV maybe
20 minutes.
20 minutes, 10 minutes
Yeah.
at that.
Heidi says she's jealous of all the stuff she sees in the video.
Oh, Heidi.
Girl, come over
Yeah,
here.
come over and come visit, because you know what? We are looking for you to come by. So, Hector, thank you for joining us. Okay, he says you should check out the International Rice Research Institute in Los Baños, Laguna. They have information tours to learn about rice cultivation. They even offer courses to anyone.
In Laguna.
Nice,
Okay, we need to
nice.
look that up.
Yeah, thank you, Hector. Really appreciate that. I will definitely look into that. Not really going to be the one farming it. I'm kind of going to be the one holding the title of the land while I allow somebody else to farm it. Now, if I save enough money, I'll definitely take Karyung's advice and buy a tractor and all those other things that come with it. Guys and toys. I want a motorcycle.
That's what I
want a
was
tractor.
telling. I was
want a
telling
truck.
him. I was like, "Oh, you just want all these toys."
Mhm.
Mhm.
So one day, Heidi says, one day we'll get to experience what you guys are experiencing. Heidi, I'm telling you, like, this life here is stress free. Like I
Mhm.
am not stressed out at all. No high blood pressure. I don't have a headache here. It's like, it's amazing. Now I'm kind of enjoying
Mhm.
life more.
Yeah, we are.
I'm enjoying life a lot more.
We are enjoying life more.
Riding on a motorcycle
Yeah.
here is so blissful that we can ride the motorcycle all day. Spending time with the kids, like tonight, before we started this live, my son was like, "Can you cuddle with me?" So we really sat there and we talked about our days, and something happened, right? Which Himiko doesn't usually ask. It's us that asks her. She says, "Mommy, how was your day?"
Mhm.
Right? And just out of the blue, she says that. And I think that it's amazing how my daughter is engaging in communication. Usually she's like, I'm gonna play my video games, I'm gonna watch TV. But here she's definitely a little bit more involved.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a really good transition for the kids and us, really. Our kids are very much homebodies. They want to stay home, and we have to kind of like force them to get out of the house. We'll be like, "No, we're all going on this trip. You need to get ready. We're all going." But then once we're there, they're having fun. We always try to find like something good to do at the mall for them, like the kid toys, kid stuff to do, and it's just been a lot of fun. We haven't, I think the most stress I'm having right now is like trying to figure out where I'm gonna hang my Christmas light. My big Christmas light that you get when you're Filipino.
It's like that star.
It's a
It's
big
a
star
that
that
points
lights up.
what is that, Star of David?
Hmm.
Yeah. Or
And so that's the stress I have. I pull my husband outside. We're looking up at the roof, and I'm just like, where can I put my Christmas light? And he's like, I'm gonna have to make a new plug, and we're gonna have to hang it up over here. And so it's funny because
Yeah.
I really have no stress.
So Heidi just reminded me today is my mother's birthday. So Mom, if you are watching this video, happy birthday. I tried calling, but
We did try calling.
didn't get through. For whatever reason, there's some bad connection.
Maybe
but
no internet
or
on
something.
her end.
Well, thank you for joining us. We love you guys. And Hector, thank you for giving me that input about the
Los Baños
Laguna
Rice
and
Research
the
Institute.
rice research. So
thank you to Willie Bobo, Karyung, our 1,000th subscriber, whose name was Ryan. Ken. Ryan Ken. So thank you so much. We made it to 1,000, guys. Woo! Hold on. I got it. Woo!
Okay, wait, hold on.
This is like.
Okay, but what does that mean though? It doesn't mean anything.
It means that we got to 1,000 subscribers.
Oh God!
Now we have to work on our hours. So watch all our videos, guys. Just watch them, okay? Fall asleep watching our videos.
If you haven't, live life to the fullest, because why not?
Yes. Have a good night.